Hello everybody and welcome to Profit Mission Control. Today I have some different kind of video that I want to share with you, and I want to focus on talking about Trade Ideas, which is the software I use to find all my winning trades either through the launch list or through intraday setups. So most of you know that I've been using Trade Ideas for the last couple of years, and I found it to be a great piece of tool that has taken my trading skills from below average to, I would say, a little bit above average. The exciting thing is they're having an open house where you can get to test the entire software with all its features for an entire week, and you only have to pay $8.88. But what I want to focus on today is really 14 reasons why you should sign up for that. I will give you the link. It's in the video down below the video as well as inside the video. It starts next Monday, which would be July the 17th. Sorry, July the 18th. And like I said, you pay a flat fee of $8.88, and you get to enjoy all the features of the software. So let's talk about give a little bit more detail about what's coming up. So the test drive starts July 17th through July 21st, so those 5 days. If you sign up this week, you won't be able to get any data yet, but you'll be able to access the software and all the features that are in it, which I'm going to go over in my 14 reasons why you should sign up for it. It gives you a pass for using the software, and it's just a one-time purchase, so this won't be something like a recurring purchase unless you decide to actually subscribe for the whole product, which I would highly recommend. By the way, I don't work for Trade Ideas. I'm just a user of Trade Ideas, but I am an affiliate. So if you guys follow the link that I have here, that will help me out a little bit. But the reason why I'm really doing this is because it's something that I found extremely useful for me and has provided me a lot of value in just zooming in on the right setups and right stocks, and as well as giving me an edge with the community. They have a large community, a fantastic chat room, which is one of the reasons I'm going to talk about, that I've learned a lot from there. And you'll see, if you go there and attend their chat room at least, you'll find a lot of interesting traders and a lot of excellent tips and ideas that are given that help you become a better trader overall. That alone by itself is a huge value. So if you want to try it out, the link is bit.ly/tryholly, one word. You can use the same capital TRY and capital HOLLY, or just all small caps. That should take you also to the same location. Once you're there, you're going to sign up for the weekly trial. And I really want to convince you guys why you should be signing up. All you have to invest at this time is only $8.88. That's probably the price of a couple of Starbucks coffee cups, for 2 days or something like that. So really something worth looking at. All right, so what is Trade Ideas? So some of you who may not even know what I'm talking about. So Trade Ideas is an industry leader fintech software. So it's financial technology software. It helps you find the best setups in real time. So these are things as the market is open and live, you get a lot of information about every single traded stock in the stock market. And I'll tell you more details about how you go about doing that, but it provides that in real time. So it's a very effective tool for day traders as well as swing traders. The software itself consists of several components or modules and several features, and all of these features, depending on how you like to trade, can be tailored to your specific needs to find winning setups in real time again. I personally use Trade Ideas on multiple fronts, mostly for the developing the launch lists every day. I use it to get my price alerts as well as my what I call a top list, and I'll talk about those a little bit more. There's also intraday setups. So I have a lot of different alert boxes of strategies that I've developed or I've gotten from Trade Ideas and tweaked myself for my own use. And those have been fantastic in giving me real-time trade alerts. So if you follow me, you know I talk about the dodeca alerts, I talk about the quadra alerts, I talk about trend reversals or course correction alerts. So there are so many strategies that you can develop and tweak and use for your trading intraday. So with that, I'm going to go over why you should sign up for these. I'm going to give you about 14 reasons why you should do that. So Trade Ideas comes in two packages. One is called a standard package and one is called a premium package. So the first reason why you should use or sign up for Trade Ideas is to try out their real-time market data. A lot of you, if you have a brokerage account, you're already getting that. However, Trade Ideas provides it to you as part of their subscription cost. So it's not like an additional cost to get the real-time market data. So if I flip and go show you Trade Ideas itself, the software, this is how it looks like my desktop. And today is actually Wednesday morning, July 12th. So it shows you, so these are all my alert boxes and my top lists and my stock chart windows. But the one thing I wanted to tell you is that this is all real time. So right now, like the market hasn't opened yet, but it's telling me real time all these stocks that are gapping up. So this is kind of the list that I prepare every morning and share with you. So it's showing today that NAK is up already 13%, gapping up 13%. I was looking at the chart of ZN, which is kind of a crazy stock over the last few sessions because oil is kind of in the news today. It's been bullish. Everybody's bullish on oil stocks this morning. It's gapping up from basically 367 all the way to 440. Sorry, pre-market it was, let's say here, it ended class yesterday at 402 and it's up 440. So anyway, it's real-time market data. So that's the first reason why you want to sign up for that. Now, second reason is the market channel bar. If you look on the left here, this is called the market channel bar. It's just like using as if you're watching your TV and you want to get an idea of what's happening in the market. Now, most of you probably refer to like CNBC or Bloomberg TV to get their financial data. This one cuts out all the BS discussions, conversations, commentary, analysts. This one gives you the actual data, what's happening. And if you look at the channels, they're organized here on the left. The first channel is called on volume. So what does that mean? That means it will show you all the stocks that are currently showing high volume move. So you just click on it, it opens this channel for you, and everything is pre-set up, pre-configured. You don't have to do anything. If there is something you like here, you can use for future. You can save it for yourself and use this scanner box, for example. It's a top list that tells you what are the top stocks that have, above average volume trading right now. Second channel is HOLI AI. I'm gonna skip on that. Pre-market. So right now we're in the pre-market. So if you click on the pre-market channel, the software is configured to give you everything you want to know about the pre-market. It tells you what stocks are gapping up, what stocks are gapping down, who's volatile, which stocks are the most volatile pre-market. So basically how much volume and where is the volume flowing through. It gives you an idea about every single stock. So if I click on a stock here, that shows you all the information about the stock that you're interested in. It shows you this chart. You can configure this to any way you like it, but anything you want to know about pre-market is happening right there. Let's say I want to change and go to my Alpha Predator. So what is Alpha Predator? Alpha Predator is every single, it's kind of like the hot stocks that are in momentum, that are gapping up or moving up very, very quickly with huge percentage gains at a given time. So there's specific filters to scan the market to show this top list and show you which stocks are actually the most sought after and have had huge percentage gains. So if you like to trade momentum, you can go to this channel. Defense is anything related to the defense industry sector. So what stocks are in play, how much they're moving, and things like that. Social media. So these are stocks. So this is a social media channel. So when you click on it, it gives you all the stocks that are currently being talked about in the social media. So whether you go to StockTwits, you go to Twitter, whatever, all these financial blogs, this finds that information and presents it to you automatically. So you know, oh, Kara, yeah, last night it dropped significantly pre-market or after market because of bad news. It's in play. It's being talked about. Sorry, this was OCUL, but Kara's been also in the news the last few days and a lot of chatter on the social media. So it shows it to you right away. Surge. So these are stocks that are showing surges in their purchases as well as in their price. So kind of like the Alpha Predator, but a little bit different. It combines both the volume and the price action. Volume is really focusing on where the volume is moving. So usually the large ETFs and a lot of the other stocks where it shows above average volume. So you can look at relative volumes here are huge numbers, definitely above 1.5 to 2. And it talks about, okay, where is the volume flowing, what stocks. So the point is, this channel offers you so many opportunities to just scan the market. And I mean, earnings, stocks that are in earnings today or the next few weeks, price movement up, price movement down, all your sectors. You want to understand which sectors are hot today. So today is, like I said, July 12th. Let's click on that and then you can see everything you want to know about what sectors are in the top. So computer index hardware seems to be high, and China index seems to be high, defense, natural gas, biotech, and here are the ones that are kind of depressed. And it shows you, here's a count bar that shows you, are we above average? So anything above 55% means that there's a lot of sectors that are actually bullish, and 36% of the sectors are not bullish. So you got a lot of information just by scanning the market. You can do this every day in your morning to go through the routine, seeing, okay, what's happening everywhere. We talked about 420 in play. So these are all the weed stocks, which is kind of a hot sector right now. All the companies that are involved with the medical marijuana. And this is, something, if you want to hold on for a few years, probably most of these companies will double or triple. Some of them will go away, but you get to understand which ones are in play, which ones are worth looking at. Trading the gap. So these are gappers, whether they're gapping up or down. I mean, there's just a wealth of information just by going through this channel bar. And the cool thing about it is that once you find a window that you like, so let's say I want to always be checking out my gappers, there's your gappers. So you can take this specific window and you can actually click on it and you say save or share to the cloud. And once you save it and it becomes available to you. If you remember, there was you can use anytime. If you remember up here, there was something called My Cloud, and that's all the links that you could save to all these windows. So when you have your own specific layout where you can arrange any windows you want in any favor or any manner you want, you'll be able to get all your saved top lists and alert box from the cloud. All right. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but you get the point here. Here's a channel better than your cable TV. Tells you everything you want to know about the market, metals, energy, trending now, ETFs, infrastructure, options, all after hours activities, live trading room, which we'll talk about, and then some of the setups for Barry Anderson, who is the moderator for the trading room. So he has his own display with a lot of interesting windows as well that he uses every day, and you can go and see how he uses them. So anyway, I talked a lot about the channel bar. That was basically reason number 2 why you should sign up and try it out. All right, let's go back to the presentation and show you. Okay, so reason number 3 and 4, top list windows and alert list windows. So I'm gonna go back to Trade Ideas and actually load my layout that I have personally saved, and it's kind of the default layout here. All right, so what are top list windows and what are alert list windows? So A top list window is a window that scans the market and presents to you stocks based on specific filters you choose. All right. So this is not, it's not giving you an alert per se because there's no event associated with it, but it's just showing you, like here, the two lists that I usually use in the morning are the gappers down and the gappers up. And if I click on the configure box, what it shows me is what are the specific criteria that I've chosen to be able to filter this data. So my filters are the following. I'm looking at stocks that are at a minimum, that are gapping down at least -4%. So anything that has gapped down more than 4%, I want to be seeing. I'm looking at stocks between $3 and $25 because that's the range that I typically trade. You can change this to anything you want. I'm looking for stocks where the volume pre-market is at least 1,500 shares. So it just gives me kind of a broader idea of what stocks are gapping down. That's pretty much it. These are the filters, and it shows me everything I want to know about the market at a given time. So the top list is not an alert window, but it shows you a list of stocks that meet certain specific criteria you want to choose. And I skipped over this, but if you go and look at some of the criteria, I mean, there's an endless, I would say limitless number of filters that you can scan the market with. Right here in this box, these are just some of the few that I typically use frequently, so that's why they're showing, but you can scan through their filters. There's, I would say, hundreds of filters that are presented to you. Things like float, the short float, earnings date, volume in the last 5 minutes, volume in the last 1 minute, 30 minutes. I mean, you can go as much as crazy as you want. Stock to its relative activity, so all the social activity on this stock, gap percent in dollars instead of percentage, change from the close in terms of percentage. So there's so many specific filters you can do. But if I go to search, this shows you a list of all filters. I mean, everything from price, Fibonacci, gapping up, minute ranges, anything that you like, that you're typically like in your strategies, you'll find an indicator here or a filter you can choose to filter the market with. So the second thing was the alert boxes. So alert boxes are only active when the market is active, or if you choose to change the time frame. So I can go and change the time frame and say, okay, this is an alert box of the most upward momentum right now, and I want to go to yesterday. So I'm going to click on that. It will give me all the stocks for yesterday and at what time. So this was prior to market close. So these were the stocks that were showing up on my scanner as the market was closing yesterday. It shows which stocks have basically upward momentum. So this is real-time alert. Now the difference between a filter, between a top box and an alert box, is that there is an event that has to happen for a stock to show up on this list. So if I go and configure this, my event, which is an alert, is anything that has a new high or a new pre-market high. So in essence, what this is doing though is going through my specific filters. So it's scanning the market and coming up with a top list in the database, right? And these are my top lists. These are my filters for what stocks that I'm looking for. I'm looking for stocks that are between 50 cents and $100 that have a volume today of at least 100,000 shares. The earning per share is at least, between these two ranges. So I kind of filter out all the ETFs. Has more than 30 counts. So it showed up more than 30 times. It met these criteria more than 30 times. It's positioned in the 5-day range. So I want it to be at least 90%. So that means it's close to its all-time or the 5-day high. The volume in the last 1 minute, I want it to be at least 1,000 shares and so forth. So these are the filters. Now the filters, if I had a top list, it will only show me stocks every 10 seconds of stocks that are meeting these criteria. But what I'm actually interested in is the alert. So the alert is when it hits a new high, that's when I want to know about it. So that's kind of the difference between an alert box and a top list. There are so many events, just like there are filters I showed you in the top list. There are so many events that you can create using a filter box. Or an alert box, I'm sorry. And The ones that I use the most are kind of this most upward momentum, breaking out on volume, the high of day momentum. So these are things that are hitting the high of day. They're a little bit different than this one. Low floaters in the move. These are stocks that have a low float and they're actually creating new highs for the day with specific volume criteria, etc. These are all my intraday scanners, so none of them are kind of active right now, but these are the ones that sometimes I talk about. The Alpha Predator is actually a TI developed scanner, so this was from Trade Ideas that I use. Short Trainer, so some windows you see this M, so what it is basically a collection of multiple alert boxes. You can dump them all in one box, and the nice thing about that is that saves you screen space. So let's say I have 4 alert boxes. They don't fire that much during the day, like, you know, they only have 1 or 2 alerts per day. So that means it's taking too much desktop space for me. I can combine 3 or 4 of these into a multi-strategy window, which is called an M window here, a multi-strategy window. So it gives me all the alerts that would happen in, you know, 3 or 4 of these boxes into one box. And that's what I have here for, this used to be my, when I was using Short Trader, sometimes I would use the specific stocks that have, you know, price above $3, all that stuff to be able to give me alerts on those. Blast Off Alert, Bottoms Up Alert, Dodeca, and Quadro are my 4 favorite ones that I back tested it and kind of tweak all the time. But so that's kind of gives you an idea of what the alert box is. Let's go back to the reasons. So we'll go back here. So if I go back to reason number 4, alert list win. So we're talking about top list and alert win. And number 5 was the chart and the full quote window. So let me go back to here. So charts, everything you want to know about a stock in terms of different time frames for the chart is shown here. You can, I use 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minutes, and daily charts. The charts by themselves don't have a lot of indicators, but what you can do with the charts is any stock you choose, you click on, will give you a bunch of information. Number 1, it will tell you, let's say, I'm going to get a better example, let's say NAK, for example, here, or KTOV. I'm trying to show you kind of an interesting addition they've added. But anyway, it shows you obviously the price of the stock. It shows you this purple area is aftermarket or pre-market activities. You can put, you can market them up. You can put like a horizontal line if you want to mark something important to you in terms of a level important to you. You can put a text annotation. You can put trend lines, arrows. So they are pretty interesting, clean charts. They are helpful if you're a technical guru and you like to use a lot of indicators. It may not be the best because the intent was really simplicity for Trade Ideas. All you need to know is really the price action and the volume, and a lot of traders, some traders just work by those. They don't care about any other indicators. In any case, this is kind of what the charts offer. And then the second one, or the number 6, reason number 6 why you should sign up is your full quote windows. So right now I have this kind of minimized, but for every stock you choose, you will get a full quote window. Again, this is real time, and you can configure it as much as you want. I have just a limited amount of information that I track, things about the float, the short float, volume today, today's range, and things like that. But you can add as many as you want to this. So you can configure it, and when you configure it, it will give you all kinds of data you can provide for one stock. So everything that has filters you can add, and you can overload yourself with information, but the information is there. I just chose the things that I found useful for me, but it gives you everything you want to know about about a specific stock in one window. All right. So with that, let's move on to the premium service. So what do you get with their premium service? And by the way, if you sign up for this Trade Idea week, trial week, you get everything. So you get the standard, you get the premium, you get the bonus. So what does the premium service offer you? Well, Number one, something called price alerts. So what are price alerts? Price alerts is a special window that allows you to see the so let me just go back here now. So I'm going to open my price alert windows. I'll show it to you here. All right, here we go. So price alerts are what they're called. They are basically, all right, they alert you when a specific stock hits a specific price that you're interested in. They're very easy to create. So I have a list here of all the alerts that I've been created over the last whatever couple of 3-4 weeks. And if you go to a stock and you like the stock, let's say this stock here, it looks to me interesting above this level here on the daily chart. If I wanted to clear this area, maybe it has opportunity to go to this area. So all I do is I come to the chart, right click, and then say I want to create a price alert at $1.45. It opens this window and says, and I want you to alert me above $1.45, and maybe put a note that says maybe it's clear the resistance, and save it. So that's it. So it's now, and it just triggered because pre-market is going crazy. I was looking at my daily market chart here, so I can move this chart alert and say, okay, I'm interested in anything above $1.65. So it takes it off from my alert box, and it will only trigger and show up in my alert box once it passes that price. So you can create this list as many stocks as you want. I think the limit is like 500 probably, but you get real-time alerts while you had the software open, and it tracks also how much profit you would have made if you have taken the trade at the alert time. So basically all the stocks that I have here would have given me, $52 on a per share basis. So if I had 100 shares, that would be 50 times 100 and so forth. So alert box are an awesome tool. They help me. They're the first thing I look at when I'm creating my launch list, because when I see a stock that looks interesting but is not quite ready, I would mark where I think it should be ready, and then once I go in every day and I look through my alert box and I say, oh, this stock has made it, I need to actually put it on my launch list because it met certain criteria. So that's kind of the alert box or price alerts. The also cool thing about this is you can share them. So I can save all of these, and I can say save to cloud, and I save them to my cloud, and then I can share this. So if I chose to save this, it will show this list here, and I can share it with anybody who has trade ideas. I just send them this link and they can upload that file, which is pretty cool. All right, so next one is pattern recognition. They call it GBI RBI. So this is also a premium feature. I don't use that much, but it's worth knowing. So let me pull this here so you can see what I'm doing here. If you go to new, and then I can say something called, new, and then the premium RBI or GBI. RBI stands for red bar ignored, and GBI stands for green bar ignored. So if I go and say I want the, let's say, green bar ignored, 5-minute time frame, and then I go to, I can't do it right now because the market is not open. Yeah, it can't pull it because it's not a true alert box, but this is pattern recognition. So what it is in essence, those green bar ignore means that it will only scan the market for stocks that are in an uptrend. And if since this is a 5, so that means the 5-minute time range, if there were 4 consecutive green bars followed by either a doji bar or a red bar, but then the pattern continues again, the trend continues after that, it will flag it and show it in this box. So it will tell you that there has been a green bar ignored, which alerts you to the point that, hey, here's a stock that's an upward momentum. You can get in because it's still showing strength. And the same thing is on the red bar ignored. That one is if you have a stock that's trending down and then it happens to create a green bar, but then after that it resumes trending down, then that's a stock opportunity for shorting. So it's a premium feature. It's called pattern recognition. Sometimes people like to just trade that strategy, which is fine, but it's a cool feature that they have for their premium package on Trade Ideas. So next one on the premium package alerts is what we call the odds maker strategy backtesting. So that's a powerful tool. So it allows you to backtest any strategy that you create. So any alert box that you have, which includes the filters that scans the market and presents only stocks that are meeting those filters, and then the alert, which is the event that would trigger that stock to show up on the alert box. You can go and do something called a backtesting. So what is a backtesting? So that's something where I look at, let's say, for example, this box here. I can right click and I say backtest strategy. So what it's going to do is it's going to go back in history as back as 60 days to see if you had traded every single stock that came up on this alert window, how much profit or how much is this strategy going to actually earn you. So you configure how you want to back test it. So let's say you can specify, I want only to take trades that start at 9 a.m. And end at 12 p.m. for example, or you can get all the way to the end of the market. And then you say, okay, how do you want to exit the trade? So it's either by time. You say I want to exit the trade, let's say 60 minutes after, so an hour. I'm going to hold on to stock for an hour. Or you can specify the time of the day by say 3 p.m. Or you can specify at market open the next day, or 5 days later. So there's so many ways you can configure how you want to back test the strategy. And then there's risk management. So risk management tells you I can either exit by a time, or I can exit by locking profit or enabling a stop loss. So that's another option you can do. So let's say for now I'm going to use a constant amount of 5% and as a profit. So anytime I hit 5% profit, take me out of that trade. Enable stop loss. That means I want you to exit the trade if my loss is 2% or higher, obviously. You can choose advanced, and it gives you different things. You can say, okay, I want to exit with a trailing stop or bars trailing stop, or I want to have a specific exit strategy that you can configure yourself based on specific filters. So you can say, I only want to exit when filter XYZ is met. So it could be not necessarily a time-based exit. It's not just a profit or a loss exit, but it could be also a exit based on a specific criteria you choose for that stock. And then last thing is kind of summary. It shows you, okay, this is what you're going to be testing. And then I'm going to say simulate buy. So what it does is going to go back through 30 days or 60 days and tell me, okay, every time that stock hit that scanner, if I had taken that trade and held on to it based on my criteria, it would have shown me that this is a losing strategy. That means there were 543 trades, only 30% were winners. This definitely would lose you a lot of money. And look at the equity curve. So, which is interesting because I wonder if I reverse that. And it shows you the calendar. This is on July 11th. Here's all the stocks that came up. I'm there, and this is how much you would have lost had you taken the stock as soon as it hit the high of the day. So that tells me that when it hits the high of the day momentum scan, that's actually a good time to maybe short the stock. So you can go and run again and say, okay, I'm actually going to simulate selling instead of buying. I'm going to short every time a stock shows up in that list. And look what we have here. Not terribly fantastic, but certainly almost a 70% winning strategy with a profit factor of 1.8, which means the number of winners, the profit that you make in the number of winners versus the loss you would make on the losers is 1.8 factor. So once you do that, you can start optimizing a strategy. So this might be an interesting shorting strategy. This one, like if I go back on yesterday's trades, this shows me if I had shorted the stock when it hit this level, here's how much money I would have made. And you can choose different, what's your starting equity, what's your share size, how much commission, how much slippage. Just a whole lot of information in the back in the odds maker that you can use to your benefit. And I use those to tweak my specific intraday strategies here. So I hope that gave you a glimpse of the odds maker. It's a very powerful tool if you want to use, and I certainly highly recommend you play with it a little bit. Like, use any of the built-in trade ideas alert windows that you find on these channels, and then do the back test and strategy, and then you'll might find something cool that you could actually trade, so, or develop as your own strategy. Let's go back here and see. Okay, HOLI AI. So that's the talk of the street right now, right? I mean, everybody who's at least familiar with trade ideas knows what HOLI is and what she can do. So HOLI is basically a artificial intelligence. So I showed you what the back strategy is. So I'm gonna go open new, and I'm gonna open the HOLI AI strategy window. So what HOLI does is, so it's not an automatic bot for you to trade. What it does do is it goes through specific strategies. So there's about 15, or I believe 14 or 15 built-in strategies that Trade Ideas has developed. Every night after the market closes, HOLI goes, so it's basically a computer that goes back and checks every single one of those 14 strategies against the back tester. So I showed you what the back tester does, right? The odds maker. It goes through every strategy here and says, okay, let me scan the market. Let me run my strategy. And then it tries to optimize it. So it runs the baseline strategy, and then it sees what the odds are of winning, as well as the profit factor. And then it starts configuring or tweaking the actual filters that are used to build that strategy to optimize that strategy until it kind of converges on a higher win percentage and a higher profit factor. If that strategy happens to have a win percent more than 50% and a profit factor of, I think, 1.5% or 2, although I'm seeing here 1.7, it will prepare it for the next day. So what does that mean? That means that it's watching all day all of these strategies in real time, and then if a stock hits the filters of that strategy, it will enter that trade. Obviously, it's a simulated trade, but it will enter a trade and it will show you all the trades that it's actually doing during that day. So HOLI is basically a statistical model that goes and scans the market, optimizes the strategies to provide you with a list of alerts intraday of very high probability winning trades. It tells you when to enter. It doesn't necessarily tell you when to exit, although it has its own built-in mechanisms to figure out kind of, okay, what's my exit strategy? Should I save some profit? Should I actually maybe have a profit target in mind, 50 cents or $1? So it tells you here what's the stop loss for it and what's the profit target for it. Okay. Then we've got so I think there's also something called risk on, risk off profit. So during a day, it will also hint to you whether this is a day based on what the market is doing. Is this a day you should actually be taking more risk or less risk? So it's pretty impressive from a point of view that it's kind of giving you a sense of the market and telling you if risk off is on, meaning that we are in risk off mode, that means do not take extra risk. Once you hit a specific profit target, take it and exit. If the risk on mode is on, that means the market is signaling that you can take additional risk today and potentially make more profit. So that's kind of another indicator that AI provides. So much information, so many things I cannot squeeze in one video, but I'm trying my best here to give you a kind of an overview of the different features that Trade Ideas has. Okay, and then the last 3 items is Brokerage Plus, free trading chat room, and the 4 webinars a week. So Brokerage Plus is a way I'm not going to show it to you, but these are bonus items. If you sign up for Trade Ideas after the trial and you like it, if you have interactive brokers, that's the only brokerage where Trade Ideas is actually gives you the opportunity to automatically trade right straight from Trade Ideas. So only for people who have interactive brokers. If you have other different kind of brokerage, it won't give you that feature. But one thing that it does have, which I haven't showed you, it's called external linking. So if I go to tools and do external linking, what this does is actually anytime you click on a stock here, you can configure this so that it will actually show that stock in whatever program you want. So whether it's your brokerage account, whether it's some other charting program that you have, you can link both Trade Ideas and that program to do something that you want to do. So that's another feature, a bonus feature that I haven't even put on my list. The trading chat room. So every single day, believe it or not, Trade Ideas has a chat room, and I can show you where it is. So Trade Ideas chat room, if you go sign up for it, I go there every day. I'm not sure if it's open yet, but because it's 7:35 right now in the morning, I'm in the central time, so it's still about an hour before the market opens. So believe it or not, Trade Ideas has a daily free, yes, it's 100% free chat room. And these are all the people that are there right now waiting for the room to open. It's moderated by Barry. Let me go back. I'm actually showing you. All right, so this is Trade Ideas chat room. It's open every day, 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time through about just half an hour before the market closes. You get to see Barry use Trade Ideas every single day. You get to see him talk about some of the features of the software. He helps out people who are users and subscribers to Trade Ideas. He also trades live using some of the stocks that show up in the alert boxes or the top lists. So you get to see how the software is being used. And if you sign up for that week, whether you sign up or not, that room is always available for you. Obviously, it won't be helpful if you don't have Trade Ideas, but you might get some benefit out of just listening to different traders present ideas. You might actually fall in love with Trade Ideas to the point where you want to sign up and get the software. But if you don't sign up, again, use the Trade Ideas chat room for free. And if you go to Trade Ideas, the link that I provide you, it will show you how to sign up just for the chat room. All right, let's see. And then the 4 webinars a week. So again, if you go to Trade Idea, if you go to let's see here. If you go to YouTube, so Trade Ideas has a daily webinar every day from Monday through Thursday. Each day it's a different theme, but they have those live every single night. They're 100% free. You don't have to have the software to use it or to enter it. And then they archive all of these webinars on YouTube. So if you go to their YouTube channel, this is their YouTube channel here, and it shows you different kind of videos that they have, but you can go to their videos and you can see all their prior webinars. So that's an additional feature that you should try and take advantage of. And then the last bonus that is not on this list, which is number 14, is that if you do sign up for this free week, sorry, not free, but $8.88, you get to also sign up for a possibility to win the subscription for 1 year for free. And the way they are doing that is if you get the software and then you use the price alerts feature, which I showed you. So the window that shows you all the stocks that you've kind of put on watch, they're going to be monitoring everybody's price alerts. And then depending if one of the stocks that you have on your alert box triggers and creates profit, they're going to basically give a free annual subscription for the person who has the most gain on a specific stock within that 5-day period. So that's an added bonus that you should sign up. So you only get to sign up for $8.88, but you also get potentially to use the software for free for a full year if you choose the right stock. So that should be an additional bonus you should really keep track of and take it to advantage. So again, I would just remind you about what to do. You need to go and sign up, bit.ly/tryholi. You only pay $8.88. It's not a recurring. If you like the software after that week, then you can obviously convert to either the premium or the basic package and get to use a lot of the features that I shared with you today. So I really hope you take advantage of this. I can't highly emphasize how important this software is for my trading. And if you have any questions, shoot me an email or send me a note on StockTwits. And I hope you guys have a fantastic trading day. Signing off right now.